Bonjour again. Chapter 10, Solution Focused and Narrative Family Therapist, Marriage and Family Overview, Family Therapy, History, Theory, and Practice by Gladding. Steve DeShazer, Bill O'Hanlon, Milton Erickson, Patricia O'Hanlon are some of the major theorists. DeShazer went on to do solution-focused therapy, brief family therapy. O'Hanlon was interested in his own life experiences in an unhappy family, looked at possibility therapy, what might be a solution that could occur, looking at it from a postmodern perspective, social constructivism, the social, cultural, environmental context of a family. Culture influences the way families view the world and must be considered in working with family. Constructivism states that reality is not objective, it's a reflection of observation and experience. My truth is my truth. Many variations of the truth. Solution focus. The problem is not the problem. Sorry, the person is not the problem. The problem is the problem. The therapist and family must agree which issue is there to be addressed. The miracle question. If a miracle happens tonight, you wake up tomorrow, the problem was solved, what would you do differently? These are all solution focused from DeShazer. The exception question. When has this ever not been a problem? When has this been able to work? The scaling question, 0 to 10. How big of a problem is this for you right now for second order qualitative change? To give the family a compliment, a written message of praise or encouragement. Skeleton keys, keys that help the family unlock a variety of problems. Between now and the next time we meet, tell me what will happen in your life that you want to continue to happen. Doing something different. Pay attention when you overcome temptation to do the same negative dysfunctional behaviors. A lot of people in your situation might have chosen to do another option. Read, write, and then burn your thoughts. Solution-focused therapy interventions help clients view their situations differently. The role of the therapist. The therapist sees clients in 3 ways. Visitors, not involved in the problem, not part of the solution. Complainant, want to complain about the problem and finally get you to fix the other family member. Customers have come to work on their issues. Mapping, sketching out the course of successful interventions to make small changes, but very rapidly. Looking process and outcome over content. The emphasis is to concentrate on the family story. Defining the problem should be achievable, according to Todd, 1992. Assisting the family with defining their situations clearly, precisely with possibilities for change. Not focusing on clinical understanding or diagnosing or pathologizing. Empowering, meant to assist families in assessing and utilizing resources as to do something different. Achievable goals, very small changes of behavior are emphasized. It's not psychodynamic, it's not intrapsychic, it is solution focused. Therapy ends when an agreed on behavioral goal is met. Like systemic or malign family therapy, it's a team to help the family help themselves. There's a case study on page 250. 251 looks at narrative family therapy with White and Epstein from Australia, based from Foucault, the philosopher, the French philosopher, from literature, anthropology, critical theory, feminist theory, looking at logico-scientific reasoning, narrative reasoning. What is the story, the sub-story, the meaningfulness, the liveliness? What is my narrative? My story may be different than everyone in my family, and if I take everyone's story, that still doesn't make the collective family story. Empowering clients to develop their own unique alternative stories, like a DVD that has an alternate ending, to deconstruct a negative story and reconstruct and change alternate endings, reauthor our lives to change that was not possible before. To not hold on to them. It's not my depression, my anxiety, it's externalization as the problem becomes a separate entity. So the result of externalization is decrease in unproductive conflict, lessening of a sense of failure, increasing cooperation, opening up new possibilities for action, freeing people to be more effective. The influence effect on the problem on the person. How's the problem influenced a person to increase awareness and objectivity, influence life and relationships? The influence and effect of the person on the problem. How's the person maintaining the problem? Raising dilemmas. How do we cope with worry? How do we cope with misbehavior? Predicting setbacks. That sometimes there'll be a relapse of negative behaviors. Using questions to challenge and examine the nature of difficulties that have brought us into therapy. Exception questions, very similar to solution focus. When has this not been a problem? What would it look like if it was not a problem? Significance questions. Unique redescription questions. What is the significance, the importance of exceptions? Now that we're aware how you act in this situation, what would you attribute this to? Writing letters to the clients writing letters to each other, writing letters to the therapist, celebrations and certificates for overcoming. The therapist is much more a collaborator, a facilitator, not the expert on the family's life. Assisting in the families in separating themselves from old problem-saturated story, constructing new stories, reauthoring their lives with a new narrative. Very much process and outcome over context and content. One key component is deconstruction, taking the negative story apart. Move beyond symptom maintenance and myths to create a more vital story. Looking for exception questions, raising dilemmas, expecting setbacks, and sending letters to chart progress. Looking for meaning, purposefulness, and health. There's a case illustration on page 256 and 257, as well as a summary outline for this chapter from 258 to 261. That takes us through the theories. We will reconvene looking at special populations in family therapy in part 3 of this text, starting with chapter 11, the single parent families, next time.